It all started with whispers that quickly exploded into headlines. Tamar Braxton, the outspoken singer and reality star, was being linked to none other than Mendeecees Harris, the husband of love and hip-hop's Yandy Smith. The idea alone was enough to set social media on fire. People were asking, how could this even happen? For years, Tamar and Yandy had been cool in the same circles, appearing friendly and supportive of each other's careers. But when rumors surfaced that Tamar might have gotten a little too close to Mendeecees, everything changed. What looked like a harmless connection suddenly turned into a full-blown controversy, with fans wondering if this was betrayal, misunderstanding, or something far more shocking. The rumor mill went into overdrive when Tamar herself dropped a bombshell that seemed to confirm the whispers. Out of nowhere, she released the trailer for her new project, Heartbreak Retrograde, and the clip immediately had everyone's jaws on the floor. Why? Because right there, center screen, was Mendeecees Harris, not as a cameo, not as a background extra, but as Tamar's love interest. The two appeared together in steamy, romantic shots, walking hand in hand, sharing intimate moments, and looking every bit like a couple in love. For Tamar's fans, it was shocking enough. For Yandy supporters, it was explosive. Social media caught fire in seconds. Screenshots of the trailer were plastered across Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, with captions like, "Wait, is this real? And Tamar really cast Yandy's man as her boo?" What made it even spicier was the timing. Right when rumors about Tamar and Mendeecees had started to bubble. Here comes a visual that looks like confirmation. For many viewers, the trailer wasn't just promotion for a film. It looked like Tamar was sending a direct message. But the real twist? Tamar didn't try to downplay it. In fact, she leaned into the speculation. She teased the project as part of her highly anticipated comeback. Not just a new album, but a whole movie musical event. And featuring Mendeecees so prominently was no accident. Whether it was a bold marketing move or a genuine reflection of their off-screen chemistry, Tamar knew exactly how to keep her name in everybody's mouth. Fans quickly divided into camps. Some praised Tamar for the stunt, calling it genius marketing and saying she was finally taking control of her narrative again. Others saw it as messy, accusing her of disrespecting Yandy and crossing a line no friend should ever cross. The louder the trailer played online, the more people questioned Tamar's motives. Was she really exposing something real between her and Mendeecees, or was she simply playing the controversy card to drive streams and sales? Still, one thing was undeniable. The trailer worked. Within hours, blogs picked it up, gossip sites ran with it, and Tamar's name shot straight back into the trending topics. Even people who hadn't followed her music in years suddenly had an opinion about her new man. That single trailer flipped Tamar's narrative overnight, taking her from quiet comeback chatter to the center of one of the most talked about scandals of the year. And just when fans thought it couldn't possibly escalate further, the alleged confrontation between Tamar and Yandy started making headlines. If the trailer wasn't enough to stir the pot, the story took a darker turn when whispers of an actual physical confrontation began spreading online. According to multiple gossip outlets and fan accounts, Yandy Smith didn't just stay silent after seeing Tamar cozy up with her husband in that trailer. She confronted her, and what was allegedly just a heated exchange of words quickly escalated into something far more intense. Rumors swirled that Yandy jumped Tamar during an encounter, with some sources claiming the situation got so out of hand that police were called to break it up. The idea of two high-profile women, both with established careers and loyal fan bases, coming to blows over a man was enough to send shockwaves through social media. Some people swore they had insider info. Others claimed they saw snippets of videos circulating before they mysteriously disappeared. Whether those clips were authentic or not, the narrative had already locked in. Tamar and Yandy had gone from friends to enemies, and fists may have been involved. As the story spread, the details became murky. One version said the fight happened backstage at an industry event. Another claimed it went down privately after Tamar's trailer release party. Some blogs even suggested Mendeecees himself was present and had to pull the women apart. But no matter which version people repeated, the headline remained the same. Tamar and Yandy had clashed, and it was ugly. Of course, not everyone believed it. Some fans pointed out that no mainstream news outlets reported an arrest, a police statement, or even an official acknowledgement of the incident. They argued it smelled like pure internet gossip, sensationalized and exaggerated to keep people talking. Others, however, were convinced. They said the silence from Tamar and Yandy only fueled suspicion, especially since both women are usually quick to clap back on social media. The lack of denial felt, to some, like proof that something definitely went down. Regardless of whether the altercation was real, the perception of it was powerful. Comment sections filled with fans taking sides, hashtags trended overnight, and YouTube commentators dissected every rumor like detectives piecing together a case. For Yandy, the whispers painted her as a wife pushed to her breaking point. For Tamar, the speculation painted her as either the victim of an attack or the provocateur who crossed the line with her friend's man. And just when the internet seemed to settle on one version of events, another layer of the story emerged, raising the question of what was real and what might just be clever manipulation. By the time the fight rumors hit their peak, one big question started to hang in the air. Did any of this actually happen? For all the talk about Yandy jumping Tamar, the details didn't add up. No police reports surfaced. No mugshots, no arrest records, no photos of anyone leaving a hospital, and no official confirmation from authorities. For something that was supposedly so dramatic, the silence from credible outlets was deafening. Instead, the story seemed to live almost entirely on gossip blogs, YouTube commentary channels, and Instagram pages. These platforms thrive on speculation, and in the world of entertainment, rumors often travel faster than facts. But with this situation, the lack of hard evidence made even longtime fans pause. If the altercation was as serious as some claimed, why wasn't there at least one concrete source verifying it? The timeline didn't make much sense either. In one version, the fight happened backstage at a show. In another, it was after Tamar's Heartbreak Retrograde trailer premiere. Some claimed cops were called, while others insisted it never got that far. Each retelling seemed to stretch the story further, leaving the truth buried under layers of speculation. And in today's social media climate, where everyone wants to be first to break a scandal, exaggeration often wins over accuracy. What's more, both Tamar and Yandy remained surprisingly quiet. Normally, Tamar is quick to jump online when a rumor about her spirals out of control. Yandy, too, has never been shy about defending her family and her marriage in public. Yet, on this issue, both women chose silence, a choice that left fans divided. To some, that quiet meant guilt. If there was nothing to hide, why not clear the air? To others, the silence was strategy, a way to let the controversy fuel interest without adding fuel to the fire. And then came Tamar's own spin on the narrative. When she promoted Heartbreak Retrograde, she framed it as a groundbreaking project that blurred the lines between reality and art. Featuring Mendeecees so prominently in the trailer suddenly seemed less like proof of an affair and more like a carefully crafted stunt. Could the supposed fight itself have been part of that same blurred line? A rumor allowed to spiral just to keep Tamar in the headlines? At the end of the day, no one could point to definitive evidence of fists flying or cops being called. What fans were left with was a messy mixture of gossip, speculation, and strategic silence, a cocktail tailor-made to keep the internet hooked. But if the confrontation was questionable, the bigger question became, was this entire saga less about betrayal and more about business? By this point, the line between scandal and strategy was almost impossible to see. For Tamar, the timing couldn't have been more calculated. Just as whispers about her and Mendeecees started heating up, she unveiled Heartbreak Retrograde, not just an album, but a full-blown cinematic project. And instead of choosing a random actor or background performer to play her love interest, she selected Yandy's husband, a man already surrounded by speculation. To some, that move screamed authenticity, proof that the rumors might be grounded in truth. To others, it looked like textbook marketing. Stir up drama, keep the internet talking, and ride the wave straight into streams, ticket sales, and headlines. It wouldn't be the first time Tamar played with controversy to spark attention. Throughout her career, she's been known for her unfiltered personality, her sharp one-liners, and her ability to dominate social media conversations. But this felt different. This wasn't just Tamar being Tamar. This was Tamar deliberately placing herself in the middle of a firestorm and daring the world to figure out what was real and what was staged. Critics pointed out how perfectly it all lined up. The alleged fight stories broke right after the trailer dropped. blogs and fan pages couldn't stop debating whether Yandy had actually attacked Tamar or whether the two women were secretly in on the drama together. And through it all, Tamar didn't deny or confirm. She simply kept promoting her project. Every rumor, every comment, every hashtag only drove more attention back to Heartbreak Retrograde. In the world of entertainment, that's the golden formula. Controversy equals curiosity, and curiosity equals clicks. Still, the strategy raised uncomfortable questions. If it was all just marketing, then Tamar had effectively dragged Yandy and Mendeecees into a public scandal without their full consent, a move that could damage reputations for the sake of a rollout. On the other hand, if there was any truth to the speculation, then the drama was even messier than fans imagined, with Tamar using real-life betrayal as fuel for her comeback story. Either way, the optics were explosive. Fans were left to decide for themselves. Was Tamar the victim of Yandy's alleged jealousy, the mastermind of a brilliant publicity stunt, or both at the same time? And more importantly, how much longer could the silence last before someone finally broke it? Because as the dust settled, one thing became clear. The world wasn't just watching Tamar's comeback. They were watching to see if Yandy or Mendeecees would finally step out and tell their side of the story. The internet didn't waste a second turning this situation into a battlefield. On one side were Tamar's loyal fans, the Tamartians, who defended her with everything they had. They insisted the whole thing was being blown out of proportion, pointing out that Heartbreak Retrograde was clearly a scripted project. To them, the idea that Tamar had crossed the line with Yandy's husband was laughable. "It's called acting," one fan wrote on Twitter, "not adultery." Others praised Tamar for her boldness, saying she knew exactly how to capture attention in an era where shock value keeps artists relevant. But Yandy's supporters were just as loud. To them, Tamar's decision to cast Mendeecees as her love interest wasn't just a marketing move. It was a betrayal. They called her messy, desperate, and accused her of disrespecting Yandy publicly for the sake of clout. Instagram comment sections filled with heated debates, with one fan summing up the sentiment, "Friends don't use your husband for promo, period." And then there were the neutral observers, fans who weren't ride or die for either woman but couldn't resist weighing in. Many pointed out how perfectly this saga was unfolding like a scripted reality TV episode. The rumors, the trailer, the alleged fight, the silence from all parties, it all felt too convenient. YouTube commentators had a field day, with reaction videos dissecting every clip of the trailer, slowing down the intimate shots, and analyzing Tamar and Mendeecees' body language like forensic experts. The controversy even sparked conversations beyond music and gossip. Some people argued it highlighted how blurred the lines have become between entertainment and reality. In a culture built on virality, could fans even trust what they were seeing anymore? Was this real-life drama, or a storyline crafted to keep two reality TV veterans at the center of the conversation? Meanwhile, the silence from the key players only fanned the flames. Neither Tamar, Yandy, nor Mendeecees publicly addressed the allegations head-on, leaving social media to create its own narrative. Every day of silence brought fresh speculation. Some believed the women were saving their responses for an explosive reality TV episode, while others thought legal teams might be involved behind the scenes. Regardless of which side fans landed on, one thing was undeniable. Tamar had succeeded in making herself the topic of conversation again. Whether you loved her, hated her, or doubted every detail, you couldn't scroll through your feed without seeing her name. But the real question remained. Would this firestorm eventually expose the truth? Or was it destined to stay just another unsolved internet mystery? As the dust began to settle, one thing became clear. No matter what the truth actually was, Tamar Braxton had placed herself right back in the spotlight. For someone who had spent years battling industry setbacks, personal struggles, and whispers about her career being over, this sudden wave of attention marked a sharp turn in her narrative. Whether it came from genuine scandal or calculated spectacle, Tamar was once again at the center of conversation. And in today's culture, conversation is currency. But the bigger picture raised an uncomfortable question. Where does the line between entertainment and reality really exist anymore? In the past, rumors like these might have been dismissed as tabloid fodder. Now, they function almost like a marketing machine, blending personal drama with professional rollouts. For fans, it creates a sense of urgency. If there's even a chance this is real, you can't look away. And if it's fake, well, it's still entertaining enough to keep people talking. For Yandy and Mendeecees, however, the long-term consequences could be very different. While Tamar reaped the benefits of being back in headlines, Yandy's reputation as a loyal wife and strong businesswoman suddenly faced unwanted scrutiny. Fans wondered if her silence meant she was hiding humiliation, or if she was simply refusing to give the rumor oxygen. And for Mendeecees, the attention brought back the kind of messy spotlight he'd spent years trying to avoid. Still, no matter how people interpreted it, the silence from all three left the door wide open for speculation to run wild. Was there a fight? Did the cops really get involved? Or was the entire story a carefully planned rollout strategy designed to keep everyone glued to their screens? The fact that no one could answer these questions with certainty was exactly what kept the narrative alive. And that's where Tamar might have pulled off her most brilliant move. By never clarifying, never denying, and never confirming, she allowed the public to do the work for her. Every comment, every debate, every reaction video gave her project more oxygen. In an industry where attention is the hardest currency to earn, Tamar had turned gossip into gold. So the saga ends not with resolution, but with questions. Is this proof that Tamar will do whatever it takes to dominate the spotlight? Or will the truth one day surface and flip the entire story upside down? For now, the world is left hanging, caught between scandal and spectacle, waiting for the next chapter that might reveal everything or nothing at all.